Hey, what's up guys? It's Gothalion and welcome back to another raid bossing and looting episode. Today, we're going to talk about the necessity or lack thereof of the complete castration and nerfing of the melee Roid shields. Legendaries in specific, in a recent patch to Borderlands pre-sequel. Now, I've been wanting to talk about this with you guys for a bit, but I wanted to play around with the melee shields a bit and really see, you know, how badly they're nerfed. And I will say, in standard combat, standard, like, fighting against mobs and fighting against badasses, you really still one-shot most standard mobs, and you still take care of badasses very quickly. But they're not, everything's not a one-shot. And I feel like that's just fine. It really does feel balanced. The raid boss feels good. Now, it doesn't feel like, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna completely obliterate this guy without any effort. It takes a little bit more effort, and it really makes you have to use your skills. So I like it. I like the change to the Roid shields. I think it's fine. I think they made them more balanced. Did they need to be as nerfed as far as they were? Probably. Maybe slightly less. I don't know. I don't have a max Roid on mine. Mine's only about 8K. But it does make things more interesting, more fun. So I enjoy that. I like this change for that reason, is that it makes the gameplay more exciting. So was the current form of things like the shooting star and the avalanche and the big thumper, were those things way too powerful before? Yes, they were broken. They were borderline game breaking, and they really trivialized content. So I'm on board with the fix for that reason. I think it is okay. Like I said, you can one-shot most standard mobs. Running around the probe, you can heal yourself to full in one melee hit, and albeit the probe and the Roid shields, I guess, aren't really an intended gameplay style, seeing as though the probe itself is a quest item. But you know what? They never took the grog out of Borderlands 2, so we're going to use the probe, melee guys. Anyways, so this gameplay style still works, and the raid boss still very killable. Very, very killable. I had a very... This is actually, what you're watching right now, is my first go at the raid boss since the nerf. And it took me a while to get into my flow, get used to switching to my bladed weapon when I need to, make sure my gun kata was up, yada yada yada. It still worked, and I probably could have cut my time in half. So I'm okay with this. It makes the raid boss a boss. It's fun, it's good, it's fine, it feels balanced to me. But maybe they didn't need to go so far. But here is my complaint about this change. Here is what really grinds my gears about this change, is they just released a DLC character in the Doppelganger. And the Doppelganger, when spec'd correctly, is absolutely fucking broken. I watched my buddy Baru kill this boss in a couple trigger pulls with the right spec. So my question is, why make this nerf a couple days before you release this character? Why trivialize these pieces of gear that was fun for a lot of people and take fun away from people? Because frankly, if melee folks wanted a challenge, they could have gone and picked up a epic or purple quality Roid shield and have the same results as this nerf. And they would have given people the choice. This still would have been a choice. Currently, it's no longer a choice. It's kind of going back to what happened with the bee shield inside of Borderlands 2. They nerfed the bee because they felt like people were seeing the bee as the only choice. But that wasn't the case. Plenty of people who still wanted a challenge were using different gear sets. And the people who wanted to play the way they enjoyed playing, steamrolling the content, not hurting anybody else's fun, still used the bee. People who wanted to use things like the avalanche and the shooting star in their previous state and have fun the way that they liked having fun, were still doing so. And then dudes who wanted a challenge using the melee, who wanted to think on their feet, who wanted a bit of a more of a boss gameplay from their bosses, used different shields. We had that choice. But Gearbox, what they've done here is they've taken that choice away. That, I don't agree with. I don't like that. I don't like the removal of choices in a game that already has too much returning from a previous game. I don't like that removal. I like having the choices. I want everybody to have as much fun as they possibly can in the game. To me, that is paramount. To me, that is the most important thing to focus on when you're balancing a game. You didn't have to use the shooting star. A lot of people chose to. That's unfortunate. If the reasoning for balancing the shooting star was because it wasn't how the game was intended to be played, or if it was making the game unenjoyable for other players, then they need to think about that when they're bringing in new content. When they release a character, which, when spec'd correctly, is more powerful than the old shooting star. More powerful. So, while I can be behind the change because I feel like the balance is good, because that's how I enjoy playing it, that's my opinion. And I know plenty of people are not going to agree with me on that. And that's fine. We're allowed to have different opinions. I like it for the balance, but I don't like it for the reasoning, which is that it's not the way the game's intended. That it might ruin a good gameplay experience for someone else. I don't agree with that, especially when they just released a paid DLC that makes you even more broken. It makes me kind of feel like maybe they nerfed these things, and then people would find out how powerful Jack is, and then people would buy Jack. They would miss feeling overpowered and spend money to feel overpowered again. You can't nerf one thing and then release another that is even more powerful and also not balance that thing. Am I crying to balance Jack? No. I don't want them to touch Jack. Jack is fun. People like playing the doppelganger. They enjoy it. But Gearbox needs to reevaluate why they do things. And they also need some better gameplay testers so they can find the things that are broken. Because people that liked playing the shooting star are now saying, what the fuck? I enjoyed playing that gameplay. Now the doppelganger's broken. Now he's even more broken than the old shooting star was. So what the shit, Gearbox? It puts them in a tough position. Like I said, I'm enjoying playing with the new shooting star. I think it's fine. I'm having fun. But that's me. And not every gamer is me. Gearbox really needs to figure out who they're catering to, and if this move was an intentional nerf to get people to want to buy an overpowered character, I'm not okay with that, and neither should you be. Let me know how you guys feel. Am I putting on the tinfoil hat too much, or do I make some solid points? Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys back in the next raid bossin'.
Sweet, sweet loot.